the session.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon to you. Before I begin the discussion, I would kind of love to understand whether everybody understands Kashmiri. आप कश्मीरी जानते हैं? No, not all of you. Okay, two guys from which place you are? आप कहाँ से? Okay, Tamil Nadu. Okay, great. So. I am sure as per my understanding, this session has started maybe a couple of days back. This workshop has started a couple of days back. So you are here to understand branding. No? और पिछले 2 दिन में बहुत सारा आपने सीखा होगा कि branding, why kind of branding is important. So my session would be completely on investment in brand creation in small businesses, because everybody of us is kind of trying to build a small brand, start from scratch. That is my understanding. कि हम सब यहाँ इसलिए आए कि छोटा सा कुछ हमारे पास आइडिया होगा which we are trying to build up. So इससे पहले once again before I begin, I will kind of love to have a small introduction, a brief introduction of you, so that I understand what is your background, what actually you intend to do. Or thereafter, I'll kind of give my summarized introduction, who I am, why I am here. So uske baad we'll start with the session. Is that correct? So let us begin with.
Yeah, myself Syed from that. I'm in digital marketing domain. I have my own startup that is known as Promises Digital Media. And apart from that, I am working in US-based company, same domain in digital marketing.
In digital marketing only?
Yeah.
Your kind of graduation you have done in agriculture?
Sorry?
You are a BSc agriculture student?
No.
Or you are completely. So how many of you, let me understand it like this, how many of you are from agricultural background? So you are from the university only? Okay. So next.
मेरा नाम आदित्य नाई है और मैं सोपोर से हूँ और प्रोफेशनली मैं ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनर और मैं एक एडटेक बेस्ड स्टार्टअप पे काम कर रहा हूँ.
Okay, great.
फाउंडर ऑफ ट्राइबल एरिया से मार्केटिंग
Great. क्या कर रहे हो? So you are just exploring the possibilities. आपका background क्या है? Arts BA. Okay. And you? Okay.
My name is Ananda.
You are?
Disabled.
Okay. You completed? Okay. Okay. What kind of business?
Handmade skincare.
Handmade?
Handmade organic skin.
Okay, great. Yeah. You're doing MSc?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
On this side. Business.
Okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
Can I Shalimar Dodge? Partner?
MashaAllah.
Can you organize?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sheikh Rahman, Director of Shalimar.
I run a company deals with IT services and training, primarily networking, cybersecurity, and cloud.
Okay. So great knowing you all. My name is Syed Ashfaq. I'm kind of brought up in Srinagar only. I've lived here. I've kind of studied here for long. I'm quite ancient than you. Started my career as a banker. I was banker for around 12 odd years. I worked with multiple banks. Then way back in 2008, I called it quits and started my own business. So I worked with many banks. I worked with J&K Bank for 6 years. I worked with Axis for a couple of years in Jammu. I worked with HDFC Bank as one of the first employees of HDFC Bank in Srinagar. I hope many of you know. Yes Bank, I was the first branch head of Yes Bank in Srinagar way back in 2006 to 2008. 2008 was the time when I called it quits from banking industry and I started my own financial services business. So eventually what happened in 2008 because of global recession, I hope many of you know. So that financial services business was not doing that good. We had to diversify. Right now I am into 3-4 verticals. We work in financial services. I am a tax consultant myself. I am into hospitality and tourism. I am into what you call resource optimization, business process outsourcing. And I do some little bit of, recently we started a company by the name Credit Integrated Agro Private Limited, which is completely agricultural based company that we are trying to kind of, it's a novel idea. Let us hope that it kind of builds it up the way we want it. That is all about me. And as the kind of mandate that I have been given was investment in brand creation. Should we invest? Is this the right time to invest? The moment we start our businesses, is that the time to invest in brand creation? Or should we think that let this business be built up, then we invest in brand? So that question that I will try to answer out here. So one important thing that I'll tell you, the moment I was kind of coming inside the university, this got in my mind that Almighty has blessed us with something that is pre-existing. There is an existing brand that Almighty has already blessed us with. What is that brand? Kashmir is itself a brand, right? We already sold Kashmir naam sun ke world mein everybody knows. Kashmir naam bolo, everybody knows. When Kashmir naam bolo, kya naam zehn mein aata? Snow-clad mountains, beautiful streams, wonderful forests. Ye zehn mein aata na? Beautiful valley. So we are already blessed with something that Almighty has given us. That is brand Kashmir. Now, why is it kind of necessary to invest in a brand? Why is it necessary? Or should we? Or what is the right time to invest in a brand? That is what we try to answer. So what I have done in this presentation, I try to kind of run through it as quick as possible because I have been given an hour. Let us see, we'll be able to finish. I have tried to kind of put in 2 beautiful presentations that I was able to find online. Why invest in brand? उस पहले समझना है कि brand होता क्या है. What is a brand? I'm sure for the last so many sessions that you must have understood what is a brand. जैसे मैंने अभी बता दिया कि Almighty has blessed us with something. What is it? We already are a brand called Kashmir. So Kashmir is already known. So we have to become somebody who are known by our product, by our company. That is the ultimate goal. That we एक तो अपना, let us say, if I ask, let us say ABID, how many of here are ABID? Maybe there will be a couple of guys who are ABID. But the moment we are specific, नहीं वो ABID जो इस particular department का है, maybe we are kind of cornering इसका हमने थोड़ा सा ये कम कर दिया. Then we think नहीं वो ABID इस department में भी maybe there is a possibility there might be multiple guys जिनका नाम ABID होगा. But somebody, so this is something that is associated with that gentleman. So I'll move forward. I'll kind of take this presentation forward. I'm not sure whether it's connected to the speakers. This is the agenda that I will cover in the next 1 hour. What is a brand? Rationale for investment in branding. And then we will summarize, then there will be question and answers, right? Very short and precise.
The term branding, people use it interchangeably with logo design, identity design, or even sometimes typography. And maybe we need to
listen to him first.
I know you're the best person to tell us. What is branding?
Yeah, so let's start with what branding is. It's because it's not a lot of things people say. It's not a logo. Logo is a very useful tool for business, but it's not the brand. It's a symbol for the brand. A brand is not a product. So when people talk about this brand, buying this brand or that brand, they're really talking about buying one product or another product. Brand is not that. People say the brand is a promise the company makes to customers, and there's some truth in that. Yeah. I mean, it does end up acting as a promise, but that's not what it is either. Advertising people like to say, well, it's the sum of all the impressions that a company makes on an audience. Well, you know, if you're trying to sell a lot of impressions, I can see where that might be useful to you. But from a business's point of view, why do they want that? Right. So, and how does that help creative people understand what they're doing? Right. So, none of those things are really what brand is. A brand is a result. It's a customer's gut feeling about a product, a service, or a company. It ends up in their heads, in their hearts. They take whatever raw materials you throw at them, and they make something out of it. But they're making it, they're creating it. And so in a sense, when you create a brand, you're not creating one brand, you're creating millions of brands, like however many customers or people in your audience. Each one has a different brand of you. So a brand is like a reputation, right? So it's your business reputation, and everyone's going to be a little bit different about what that reputation is. And that's okay, as long as you've got corralled mostly where you want it, and then it's beneficial to the company. So we tend to look at companies and designers tend to look at branding as, from our point of view, like this is something we're doing. We're telling a story. We're making a claim. We're making a pitch. And that's what we do, but that's not what a brand is. A brand is the result of that. And if you don't start there, you don't know what you're doing. You actually don't know what you think you know what you're doing, but you don't. So from a designer's point of view, I mean, I always tended to be this way. It's like, it was my gut feeling, right, about whether this is going to work or not. And then I would sell it as hard as I could to get the client to sign off on it. From the client's point of view, they're going, well, it's a checklist. I got the logo, I got the tagline, I got the ad campaign, check, and they think they're done. Right. None of that's right. What's right is what happens in people's heads. Like, what have we achieved? Like, what's the reputation that we've created through the products we're putting out, the design of the products, the messaging we're putting out, the look and feel of them. Our culture, how does that affect people? How our employees behave, how is that affecting our reputation? All that stuff counts. So it's a big world, and it actually takes in almost all the business. Not so much finance, but finance is involved too, because finance has to greenlight all these things. But almost everybody in a company is, affecting the brand, doing something with the brand, doing it for the brand, or hurting the brand.
So that is it. Were you able to listen to what he said completely? One very important thing he said, that brand is not a logo. Brand is not just a logo. It might be a symbol. It is just a symbol. The logo has multiple colors. No, somebody puts in green, red, blue, and every color has its essence. The gentleman who said I'm a graphic designer, or a graphics designer, so every color has its own essence. Why I put green out here, why I put blue out here, so logo जब बनता है, तो what happens, so you create it with an idea. Why I'm putting white, why I'm putting green, why I'm making, let us say, some figure out of it, what does this figure signify? But at the end of the day, that is not a brand. What is that? That might be a kind of some part of the brand, but it is not the brand. Brand is, as he said, it's a reputation of a particular company or a person in minds of many others. So I can be perceived, he is perceiving me in a different way. That gentleman is perceiving in a different way. This gentleman is perceiving me in a different way. So it is that perception that you create around your niche. Niche means your audience, what you are actually kind of targeting. So you are trying to kind of address to that niche, and every person has his own perception of yours. किसी को लगेगा हाँ जी ये अशफाक साहब, he is a very honest gentleman. So no, he is not that honest. Okay, he is kind of punctual as far as time is concerned. Somebody will say no, he is not. So it is the perception that a person's in his niche, in his audience. The way, let us say, we talk of, let's say, biggest brand that we always come across in J&K is what? कौन सा brand जो J&K से बना? That was bigger. Normal. That is for agriculture. And we have a biggest brand, that is J&K Bank, right? J&K Bank is a local bank. The brand that has been built over years. Way back, maybe I'm kind of not sure, 76, 77 years of age. 77 साल में, the moment we walk into J&K Bank, there might be different experiences. No, मेरे साथ J&K Bank, the moment I visit, there might be kind of, there will be staff member who is kind of indifferent to me, who has not served me properly. So I have created an impression of what? Not that person, of that particular brand. J&K Bank में सही service. So every person is contributing to this brand. Every person who is working as an employee, as an owner, as a director, as a manager, as whatever level he is, the kind of reputation he creates in the minds of people is what branding is. So branding is a perception of your niche towards your brand. So that reputation needs to be created. The moment you build up a brand, what happens? तो build करने brand क्या क्या होता है? सबसे important, what you are looking at. First and foremost is that you look कि मुझे करना क्या है, मेरा skill क्या है, या मेरा passion क्या है. Then when you think, okay, I'll do this particular thing. Eventually, you start. Let us say we start marketing. हम पानी की बात करते हैं. There are a lot of kind of, अगर हम ऐसे generic words में बोले हमें पानी पिला दो, तो generic में पानी हमारे पास आ जाएगा. But now there are certain things that have become brands. अब हम बोलते हैं बिस्लेरी पिला दो. This is converted because Bisleri has become a brand. Why? Because of reputation out in the market, trust out in the market. So this happens bit by bit. So important thing is that you have to understand that what is brand. Brand is just not a logo. It is not just color schemes. It is the reputation that you create in the minds of your niche, in the minds of your audience. So that is very important. So moving on. So why do we kind of do branding? Why should we brand? Things have considerably changed over past maybe couple of decades, 3 decades since the time when internet came into existence. We are living in a global village, right? अगर हम subject wise भी देखें, आज की डेट में we are studying in agriculture university. I'm sure you might be kind of knowing, particularly the students who are from the agricultural background. आज से पहले अगर 10 साल पहले 20 साल पहले किसी को बोलते थे आपने क्या किया, would say I am BSc or MSc agriculture, then we would not ask another question. Now today we will ask specifically कौन सा field है. Then he will start saying no, I am from animal side, I am from this horticulture side, I am from floriculture side. So it has become, so these circles, sets and subsets have kind of now started making very. So the moment I am addressing, if I am looking for somebody in agriculture, I have to be very specific. Whom I am kind of trying to talk to. ऐसे medical field. आज से 20 साल पहले 40 साल पहले किसी को बोलते ये डॉक्टर साहब है, आज की डेट में डॉक्टर साहब नहीं है, he is a cardiologist, he is a pediatrician, he is a nephrologist. So these terms have kind of been specific. So you have to find your audience first. कि अगर मुझे ये काम करना है तो मेरी audience क्या है. So that is one important thing for purchase decision. Consumers are spoiled by choice of available goods. You go out in the market. वहाँ पे ये आपके सामने बिस्लेरी भी है, maybe there are other 10 different products, but the perception of yours, what is in your mind? अगर हम दुकान में जाते हैं, अपने किसी स्टोर में, डिपार्टमेंटल स्टोर में जाते हैं to purchase a cold drink, there are 10 in line, 10 होती हैं लाइन. Then my perception, मैं ड्यू, कोक, पेप्सी इनमें से चूज करना है, ठीक है. तो what is that? That makes me choose. That is perception about this particular product. इस प्रोडक्ट के बारे में मेरा एक्सपीरियंस कैसा है. तो if that perception is being created, so that is very important because that is the reason we have to build up the brand. Owning a brand that stands out from the crowd, that is different. अगर मैं आज की डेट में कश्मीर में, just for the sake of understanding, I say how many cardiologists are there in Kashmir? कितने होंगे? लॉट में कुछ नहीं तो 100 होंगे, आराम से 100 होंगे. But the moment I say which are the cardiologists out in Kashmir, which are the good cardiologists out in Kashmir, we'll have 3-4 names in our fingertips. हाँ, ये 4-5 बंदे हैं इधर. So because you have a series of products, series of we cannot remain away from investing in the brand. So you cannot stay away. Why? Because it's a step-by-step process. As I told you that I am into business for the last 15 years. मुझे 15 साल हो गए business. I have built any brand? Yes. In a particular market, maybe one of my brand is working. In this particular market, another brand is working. This particular. Because one important thing, we have to identify the niche, we have to identify the audience whom I am addressing. हम general audience नहीं बना सकते. We cannot be generic now. We have to be specific. कि अगर मुझे, let us say we are talking about agriculture, मुझे product बनाना है. Let us say somebody was saying कि मुझे somebody is making honey. So honey is a special thing out from Kashmir. और कश्मीर में भी एक important चीज, कश्मीर में जो honey है, honey भी different types की होती है. I am not sure whether you might have heard kicker kicker, which comes from kicker. General honey, that kind of कहीं lavender पे आपने देखा होगा honey. So these are specific. मगर now you compare in terms of quality, in terms of chemicals that this has, or in terms of whatever kind of quantity, in terms of kind of whatever contents, ingredients it has, उसमें क्या होगा, इसमें क्या है. Then you can kind of choose your audience. फिर आपको ऑडियंस का पता चलेगा. हाँ जी, दिस पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड ऑफ हनी इज गुड फॉर डायबिटिक पेशेंट्स. ठीक है, दिस पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड ऑफ हनी इज गुड फॉर समबडी सफरिंग फ्रॉम ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस. ठीक है, सो देन द मोमेंट यू काइंड ऑफ स्केल इट अप टू दैट पर्टिकुलर लेवल, यू हैव द ऑडियंस. नाउ यू आर टॉकिंग टू समबडी हु हैज डायबिटीज. नाउ यू आर टॉकिंग टू समबडी हु हैज ऑस्टियोपोरोसिस. So the moment these things are identified, जब ये चीजें आइडेंटिफाई हो जाती हैं अपनी नीश में, the moment you start identifying अपना मार्केट आइडेंटिफाई करने के, आपका प्रोडक्ट और ब्रांड will start establishing itself. Then it's your reputation. The moment let us say some diabetic patient has had this honey, उसने हनी खाया, आपका उस पे नाम था, आपका प्रॉपर लोगो था, प्रॉपरली पैकेज था. Next time you find, you will search, you will start searching for it. Will start searching for you. That this particular brand of honey was kind of I had purchased from this particular departmental store or this particular provision store. So I want to repurchase this. That is where the brand is built. अगर वो हनी खरीदने के लिए जाएगा, मैं घर से निकला, मुझे जी हनी खरीदना है, तो देर आर 20 different types of honeys available in the market, 20 different brands. Now, if I have not kind of identified my niche, then it is in the crowd. ये तो crowd में. Moment I have identified niche, अगर diabetic बंदा हनी खरीदने के लिए गया, ये particularly इसी particular brand को ढूंढेगा. ये ढूंढेगा किस शॉप में लगा हुआ और ये निकाल के दे देगा. So, point that I was kind of trying to make is it is very important that for any small business to start investing in these branding, in brand right from the beginning. First, understanding what is my market, मुझे कौन सा प्रोडक्ट है, कौन से मार्केट को मैं एड्रेस कर रहा हूँ, मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स में कौन सी क्वालिटीज हैं, उस हिसाब से अपना ब्रांड बिल्ड करके इन्वेस्ट फ्रॉम डे वन. That's got my point. And create kind of that what you call need of this particular thing out in the market. So this is another very important thing, that why branding right here, why should we invest in the brand. So there is another video of, I think it's 1 minute or maybe more. So just to understand what happens when you brand your products. Very important. In 2010, Coca-Cola was valued at how much? कितना? 70,452 lakhs. This was 2010. Now imagine 70,452 lakh dollar. It was valued in 2010. We are staying into 2023. You can understand the brand valuation कितना change हुआ होगा. And now see. Next. Sorry. What was it in 1886? 1886, Coke was able to sell only how many? 9 bottles. Just 9 bottles. And now see how it is selling. Sorry. This is important. In 2010, it sold how many? 1600 lakh bottles. So it was not built, Rome was not built in a day. It takes years to build up your brand and take it to that particular level. You know Hewlett and Packard, HP? कहाँ से start हुआ था business? Any idea where they started? They started in a garage. आज हर घर में HP का प्रोडक्ट होगा. कुछ नहीं तो पेन ड्राइव होगी. अगर लैपटॉप भी नहीं होगा तो पेन ड्राइव होगी HP की. So they started in a garage. So it takes good amount of time, good amount of investment to build this particular level. now brands have brands were built by some individual, a couple of individuals, by companies, by firms, but now it's you who build, make or break the brands. The power lies with people. Okay, power lies with people, right? It is the reputation of that particular person, the company that builds, it has built a brand, and eventually it is in your hands to kind of make or break it. The moment reputation of that particular company is good in your eyes, good the way you kind of think, yes, they're kind of providing good services, good product, whatever, they are actually manufacturing or they are into service industry. The moment that reputation happens, that reputation is good, in that brand is built. Else, you can kind of, the moment there is, आज की date में आप देखो online, the moment you go, you purchase a particular product, then you are asked to review that particular product. So the moment you review, if you give 5 stars, next time another gentleman will be encouraged to give it, purchase it, and maybe he likes the product, he gives it 5. But if there are 2 people who didn't like the product, they will put their remark out there. Next time, the moment you go to buy that particular product, what will it be in your mind? It will be, so 2 people have given a negative review. Let me understand what exactly has happened. So this is another very important thing, that your brand, the reputation plays a very important role in building your brand. So we'll move further. Main aims of branding a brand is top of your mind when consumers are considering in purchase situation. The moment somebody goes out in the market, he wants to purchase a certain thing. If he has, let us say, honey in the mind, he goes with a particular perception. Then, no, this honey I had purchased, let us say 10 days back, I want to purchase it again. So he has that perception. So then, when the brand comes to mind, there will be favorable associations with features, benefits, desires, and purchase situation. So brand लोगों के ज़हन में आ गया. The moment you have to open a bank account, so there is one brand that fits in quickly. Banker's Skuast-K, the J&K Bank. His bank is in J&K Bank. Yeah, today now there is a competition of J&K Bank, even option of HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, some other banks. But brand is there is positioning. Now from the experiences that people have from that particular bank that they have created, what happens? Eventually, you make your decision to go with this particular brand or that particular brand. So this is main aim of branding. Then we move on. Why is it important to invest? Because you stand out of the crowd. You stand out of the crowd. So J&K Bank, if we talk of, let's say J&K Bank as a brand, or Kamal Spices per se, the moment the way this gentleman said, per se, this is local. Quickly, the moment हमें मिर्ची खरीदनी होती है market से, so what will go? If there are 2 products out in the market and on the shelf, there is MDH, there is Kamal. So what will you purchase? So but of us, there is a local touch. यहाँ जी local. I will purchase this Kamal brand. It has created a particular reputation for itself. So that is what it creates. It stands out. First important thing, that this stands out. For smaller businesses to grow in this globalized world, I told you that very important thing is to identify your market. Identify. आज की डेट में पूरी दुनिया से competition करना, it is not easy. Everywhere, let's say you make honey and try to sell it to everybody, it will not happen. So what is important is identify your market. मुझे किस market में किस बंदे को ये honey बेचना है, किसके लिए मुफीद है, किसके लिए ये kind of it's a good product for certain class of people, or services for that matter. If I have to kind of, I am providing services, let us say this gentleman is a graphics designer, this gentleman is doing something maybe IT related, so they have to identify which is the place, who are the people whom I can serve better, where I can make up my niche, where I can make that kind of connections and build my brand. So one important thing, one important point, that is, it makes you stand out of the crowd. When you use generic stock standard design, you risk blending it with your competitors and becoming forgettable. So जब honey बोलेंगे तो it is gone. Honey is honey. The moment you use specific Dabur honey, so Dabur के साथ associate करके this brand makes value. नहीं जी, Dabur is a trusted brand, so honey will be trusted. So that is the reason, one very important reason, that you stand out of this particular thing. So next, avoid costly rebranding. Let's say I am starting it today. मैंने आज से ब्रांड बनाना स्टार्ट कर दिया, आज से कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाना स्टार्ट कर दिया, चाहे वो हनी हो, चाहे वो कर्ड हो, चाहे वो कोई जूस हो, जो आज से मैंने बनाना शुरू कर दिया. एंड इवेंचुअली आई एम टेकिंग इट टू माई नीश. मैं अपने ऑडियंस को के लिए ये भेज रहा हूँ. व्हाट विल हैपन इवेंचुअली इफ आई एम नॉट ब्रांडिंग इट. आज की डेट में अगर दही लेने, मैं ऐसे स्मॉल एग्जांपल दूंगा. मुझे बताइए इन, because majority of you are Kashmiri, excuse me gentlemen from Tamil Nadu, so I'll just ask, we produce rice out here. Kashmiri rice होता है, पोषक कमल यखमना. Is there any brand that we have been able to create for Kashmiri rice? Anything in mind? Nothing. We just know kosher. Limpa.
Nimbark is based from
Jammu based Nimbark, one. So one gentleman knows that there is one brand, Kashmiri rice brand, that is Nimbark, right? But overall, I heard this name first time. So overall, generally we don't do it. It's our own product. We know Bahar, Tamil Nadu, आपको पता होगा, Kashmiri save is very popular. But which save is popular? Which one? We have American, we have Delicious, we have Golden, we have tens of varieties. But which of, हमने कोई एक brand इसमें, so that is why we start investing in brands and identifying कि इस product में जो मैं product बना रहा हूँ, इसमें जो content है, इसका पूरा आज की डेट में अगर गाड़ी खरीदने निकलना हो ना, गाड़ी खरीदने, तो there are a lot of competition. मारुति वाले बेचते हैं, i10, just what you call Hyundai बेचते हैं, Ford, different varieties. But that the moment there is a comparison of a similar segment car. Similar segment means the moment I say similar segment, let's say इसके पास भी, मारुति वालों के पास भी 6 लाख की गाड़ी है और Hyundai वालों के पास भी 6 लाख की गाड़ी है. What differentiates them? या comparison. आपने कई बार देखा होगा कि अखबार में ऐड आता है, कभी Hyundai का आएगा, कभी मारुति वालों का आएगा. फिर वो comparison देगी in terms of इसका एक्सल ये है, इसका ग्राउंड क्लियरेंस ये है, इसकी स्पेसिंग ये है, this boot space इतनी है. So every comparison is listed. Then you make your decision. Now it is your requirement कि आपका boot space requirement कितना होगा, आपकी डिक्की कितनी होनी चाहिए, हेड स्पेस कितना होना चाहिए. उस हिसाब से आप अपना डिसीजन बनाएंगे कि मुझे कौन सी गाड़ी चाहिए, मुझे Hyundai वालों की चाहिए या मारुति वालों की लेनी चाहिए. Is that correct? So that is how we have to understand positioning our brand, that we have to make a comparison. अगर हनी 10 अवेलेबल है मार्केट में, तो मेरी हनी हाउ इट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द रेस्ट. So who are the audience that we are? So it helps you. कहाँ से नाप रहे हैं? The moment a carpenter is making a furniture, what happens? आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो बनाता रहता है, तो he is kind of using that plane से वो देता रहता है, plane करता रहता है. Eventually फिर we get sandpaper and chisel it out, थोड़ा सा और plane करेंगे. Similarly brands also have, they chisel their strategy. Brand strategy जब बनती है, so eventually depending on the kind of audience you are targeting, and it is not necessary. What happens the moment I am creating an agricultural company, agricultural firm, अगर मैं कोई हनी बनाता हूँ, कल को हनी नहीं होगा, मे बी देयर बी सम अदर ऑयल, मैं सैफरन ऑयल या सम अदर ऑयल आई विल बिल्ड, लेवेंडर ऑयल में बेच सकता हूँ. कंपनी विल बी सेम, देयर बी 2 डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी. जब आपने एक प्रोडक्ट अच्छी तरह मार्केट में बेचा है, यू हैव बीन सक्सेसफुल इन सेलिंग वन पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट इन द मार्केट, व्हाट विल हैपन नेक्स्ट को आपको क्या करना है, नेक्स्ट प्रोडक्ट के लिए यू नीड नॉट टू वर्क दैट हार्ड, बिकॉज ये कंपनी का इमेज ऑलरेडी मार्केट में चला गया. So that rebranding, avoid costly rebrands, and then moving on, building trust and credibility, very important. जैसे हमने अभी उस क्या कहते हैं वीडियो में देखा, what is brand? Passion, credibility, trust. These are very common things that brands are built. So you understand, the moment I am dealing with this particular company, there automatically comes what? एक तसल्ली होती है दिल में कि नहीं जी ये सही प्रोडक्ट भेजेंगे, ये गलत प्रोडक्ट नहीं भेजेंगे. सो दैट इज व्हाट इट बिल्ड फ्रॉम राइट फ्रॉम द बिल्डिंग. इट बिल्ड्स द ट्रस्ट एंड क्रेडिबिलिटी ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड, राइट. तो इस बंदे के साथ मैंने ऑलरेडी डील की, इस फर्म के साथ मैंने ऑलरेडी डील किया हो, इस फर्म का प्रोडक्ट मैंने ऑलरेडी यूज किया हो, so it's already there. So that trust and credibility is built because you are investing right from the beginning in your brands. And next, expand your reach. A strong brand can expand the reach. Abhi aap, let us say we are based out in Shalimar, we have created a product that serves the people across in Shalimar. Abhi hum Shalimar mein distribution kar rahe hain. हमारे पास लेट से वी हैव सेट अप अ डेयरी फार्म, वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग 100 लीटर्स ऑफ मिल्क और अभी शालीमार में हम 100 लीटर बेच रहे हैं. ठीक है, एक ब्रांड क्रिएट हो गया. लेट अस से सम XYZ फार्म मिल्क डायरेक्ट फ्रॉम द फार्म. इवेंचुअली व्हाट विल हैपन, दिस वर्ड ऑफ माउथ विल फ्लो. शालीमार से बात बाहर चली जाएगी. अब निशात के लोगों को पता चल गया कि शालीमार में कोई फार्म से डायरेक्ट कस्टमर को डिलीवर कर रहा है. तो व्हाट विल हैपन, eventually निशात साइड से कस्टमर आएंगे. They will not search for milk, but they will search for this specific brand. वो दूध नहीं ढूंढेंगे, वो ये specific brand ढूंढने निकलेंगे कि ये वाला मिल्क हमें कहाँ से मिलेगा. But it becomes easier for a person to expand his reach. It becomes easier for a person to expand his reach to different markets and becomes impactful as well. Then cultivate customer loyalty. जब एक कस्टमर ने आपका प्रोडक्ट आज खरीद लिया, you have been able to satisfy him, completely satisfy him in terms of your quality, in terms of your delivery, in terms of your commitment. The moment you have been able to deliver, what will happen? This will create customer loyalty. So आज की डेट में भी if you see there are a lot of online what you call platforms that are in Amazon है, Flipkart है, Myntra है, these are rough names that we. मगर क्या यही है दो तीन, but we have these names in our mind. Why? Because they have built that trust, that credibility, that delivery. ये सब उन्होंने already build किया है. अगर आप चौथा बंदा कोई स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, it is very difficult for me, for somebody else in this room, for somebody else out from the room to make a decision कि मैं Amazon से ये नहीं खरीदूं, किसी नई कंपनी से खरीदूं. It will be very difficult unless I try the product. So this will eventually ensure that customer loyalty is there. कि आपका ब्रांड बन गया, जब कस्टमर ने देखा हाँ जी आपने ये XYZ प्रोडक्ट बना लिया, will next time once again be loyal to you and take this product from you only. या कल को the moment you are expanding, आज आप एक प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं, कल आप 10 प्रोडक्ट बनाते होंगे, तो कंपनी का जो ब्रांड होगा it will be already built out in the market. So what will happen is eventually the customer will directly, because he has already trusted, he has already understood the product, the deliverability, the honesty, the dedication, the commitment from this particular company, he will start once again coming back to you. And very important that it sets a stage for growth. हम छोटे से शुरू करते हैं, छोटा छोटा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. जैसे हमने देखा इस वीडियो में that in 1886 Coca-Cola was able to sell only how many? 9 bottles. And eventually in 2010 they were selling how many? 1600 lakh bottles, which are enough to have in England, London. People in London who are stays in London till 2061 they can have these Coca-Cola bottles. Right? So this is how it is built. So अपना vision right from the beginning, step by step, one step at a time. You have to build this brand and eventually think of making it very big. So this helps us in setting the stage for growth as well. So these are some kind of primary aspects of investing in the brand. Okay? Investing in a brand, as I told you, that it is not just creation of logo, it is not just creation of a tagline, it is not just kind of looking for smaller details in your logo. No, it is building that reputation gradually from time to time, one at a time. So ये सारा. And another very important thing, that is attracting team members. आज की डेट में world is collaborating. आज की डेट में एक बंदा सब कुछ नहीं कर सकता. As I told you that earlier we used to have a generic term He was still unknown. I don't know, my father के time पे I have not seen there is a name every household knows. बच्चा बच्चा जानता है. In this Skuast-K we talk about Dr. Ali Jan. Heard of this name?
Yes.
Everybody must have heard of this name, Dr. Ali Jan. Yeah, cut also Dr. Ali Jan. It is, he is no more, but he is still spoken about. Why? Because he was a brand in himself. So he was, आज की डेट में डॉक्टर अली जान is okay, perfectly alright. He used to see a particular patient. चेहरे से पता चलता था इसको कौन सी बीमारी है. आज की डेट में what are doctors doing? First test, X-ray, MRI, CT scans, then these tests, other tests, then they will scan. Okay, आपको ये दवाई खाना, right? But eventually, what has happened from that particular time to this particular time? What has happened? Now, if we go to a doctor, मैं उसको अगर इस तरह से inadvertently, I walked in a polyclinic. I am going to a gastroenterologist. मैं उसको ना इधर दिलों क्या? What will you do? Well, to doctor, I am not that doctor. I have to visit a cardiologist, right? So this is a very important aspect that why we should invest in branding right from the beginning. And number third, this last but not least, it attracts good team members. It attracts. The moment your brand is built, so there will be kind of somebody right from somewhere जिसके पास कोई ना कोई talent होगा. He will be attracted to you. I want to help this company or I want to work with this company because I have this particular talent. Right from the beginning, I'll tell you. As an entrepreneur, I tell you, entrepreneur जब start करता है ना, the moment we start, because I have also started somewhere, no? He becomes everything. ये खुद sales भी, marketing भी, designing भी, क्या कहते हैं, office का काम भी, searching for HR भी, everything he has to manage for himself. But good thing is, आज की date में, kind of we have, it's a time of collaboration. Collaborate with people. आज एक बंदा सब कुछ नहीं कर सकता. I have ideas in my mind, but I cannot kind of execute every idea. हर कोई idea मेरे से solve नहीं हो. If there's a branding idea, मेरे ज़हन में brand है, but I have to hire a graphics designer. Sir, मेरे ज़हन में ये आ रहा है. So graphics designer is the right person who will think over it, what exactly I am looking for. Then he creates that design for me. So I have to collaborate with him. So that's very important that in today's day, what is to attract talented members? You have to build a brand, and these talented members will come and contribute in terms of their own specializations. हम HR भी खुद देखेंगे, हम graphics designing भी खुद देखेंगे. हालांकि आज possible है, because दौर क्या है AI का. Word of AI नो, artificial intelligence. Use किए ChatGPT. हमने अब use ChatGPT. We use ChatGPT. Wonderful. See, people are using it. So it has kind of completely changed the view of work. Completely changed. अगर एक notion है कि it will kind of, what will happen is, it will erase jobs. Jobs खत्म हो जाएंगे. ठीक है? किसकी job खत्म हो जाएगी? जिसको AI का पता नहीं होगा. कोई AI का पता होगा, his job is secure. Be clear about it. Means हमें क्या करना है? We have to improve our skills, learn AI, learn this ChatGPT, how to use this ChatGPT, how to kind of engage with it. इसके साथ interact कैसे करना to get the desired result. For everything there is an AI tool. For almost everything there is an AI tool. I am sure you must be knowing. The designer, the graphics designer, he has spent quite a long number of years to kind of contemplate. AI cannot compete with human brain, but to some extent, the moment I have used certain commands, certain inputs, I give it certain inputs, it will give me a design. But exactly to refine it, we always need तो हमें बॉटल्स के लिए कोई पार्टनर चाहिए तो हमें बॉटल दे देगा. ठीक, हमें आगे दुकानदार के साथ कोलैबोरेट भी करना है कि ये थावस फाइनेंस के एस्पेक्ट शेल्फ. So the moment you have a brand, you will dictate. The moment you have a good brand, you have built your niche, you built your market, now you will dictate. Now you will not go to the market. The market will come to you. So आपके product we are kind of done. Don't underestimate the impact of branding on your small businesses success. Don't underestimate it. Don't give it a name, build a brand, then sell it under that brand. I'll tell you something about kind of the moment I started. I told you that I called it quits way back in 2008 from the bank. We started a company by the name Infin. Right? It was completely into financial services. इसके अलावा कोई ज़हन में नहीं, because I came from the bank. I had a background of investment, banking, finance, ये सब थोड़ा आता था. It was what natural. My inclination was financial services. So we started Infin, investment and finance. Infin. So this became a brand. But 2008 it happened that global recession happened. So what we had to do? हमने क्या करना? हमने कोई alternate देखना था. What to do? Recession है. So first impact is what? Financial markets. पहला impact कौन होगा? पहला recession में financial market ही impact होंगे. So what we did is we started diversifying. इसी brand के अंदर. Now what we did is it is Infin. Infin service to desire. हमने थोड़ा सा tagline change की. Service to desire. We entered the services market. तो हमने थोड़ा diversify करके telecom में चले गए. ठीक है. Infin is existent. Infin service to desire. We entered the telecom market. So telecom में जब हमने start किया, the moment we started, there were only two companies. There was BSNL, there was Airtel. Then Reliance came. Reliance Anil धीरूभाई अंबानी group. उसके बाद Idea आ गया. उसके बाद Vodafone आ गया. उसके बाद what you call this Jio came into fore. So these four brands came eventually after that. But जो हमने tie up किया, let's say the moment we started, the moment third company came to Kashmir, it was Reliance. Anil धीरूभाई अंबानी का group था. उनके साथ हमने tie up किया. We became their partners, but eventually it didn't work. वो Reliance है ही नहीं. अगर किसी के पास वो SIM होगा भी, वो पोर्ट होगा किसी और नेटवर्क पे. And then we entered to Aircel. A collaboration with Aircel. Aircel का हमने बहुत सारा काम किया. Aircel is no more. Airtel is no more. Aircel भी नहीं है, Reliance भी नहीं है. Infin ही है. Infin is still there. That is what a brand can do, right? बड़े brands possible है खत्म हो जाएंगे. But the moment you create that particular niche, you understand that ये market है मेरा, ये मुझे काम करना है. You can अगर नहीं. We are here. We were into financial services. जब financial थोड़ा सा global recession थोड़ा stabilize हो गया, so we entered into a type of company called Karvi. I'm not sure how many of you have heard it. Karvi is a company that was इतनी बड़ी company थी. Every third demat account पर shares पर share stocks, share market पर people who know share markets. Anybody who understands share market, the moment you hold the shares, जैसे money you put in the bank, ऐसे shares if somebody purchases a share, it is put in a demat account. In India, every third demat account was with Karvi. We were the main franchises of Karvi in India. Karvi closed their shutters in 2019. Karvi बंद हो गया. Infin is still there, right? Karvi भी बंद हो गया. Infin फिर भी है. तो टाटा इंडोकॉम के साथ हम काम करते थे. टाटा इंडोकॉम wound up way back in 2014 from this. There's one Infin is still here. We still provide. The companies are changing. We are providing services to different companies. So our idea was clear what we intend to do. So very important that you create that particular brand and stick to it. Have we not created that? अगर हमने Infin नाम सर्विस डिजायर नहीं किया, सर्विस टू डिजायर नहीं किया होता, what would have happened? Aircel जाता, Infin भी उसी के साथ उड़ जाता. but we started changing our kind of strategy, branding is strategy also. Eventually, we started this hospitality and tourism vertical. I have two brands in kind of which have formed. One, Kashmir Trails. Kashmir Trails is a brand that I conceived way back in 2011. The idea था in terms of kind of what you call in terms of tourism, how I wanted to contribute into tourism. It didn't happen because of course जो हालात रहे from 2009 फिर 2014 में सैलाब आ गया फिर 2016 में फिर 2019 we were not able to do it. But to a smaller extent, what I was able to do is I was able to stick to this particular brand and create a market for myself. And today, if you ask me कि क्या कर रहा है Kashmir Trails is still getting 3-4 customers every month of its own, just because there is somebody we have served, there was a loyal customer that we have served sometime, तो उनको उनके ज़हन में है Kashmir Trails, so they kind of build. This is word of mouth, that is reputation. तो ऐसे एक और brand जो मैंने create किया, it's just the name myhomeinkashmir.com, myhomeinkashmir.com. This was once again my idea way back in 2010 with that. I thought I was kind of just walking down एक बार राजबाग से चल रहा था. It struck my mind कि इतनी सारी hotels बन रहे हैं. Everybody is turning his house into a guest house. तो ठीक है, infrastructure ठीक है. Idea ऐसे struck होता है कि आपके ज़हन में कुछ आ गया कि I can do it. I thought of doing something. Okay, hotel तो बन गया. Now you need services. You have to have a team to manage it. So how do they do it? There was a huge lift in it. So मैंने सोचा why not create something of property management. He is building a property. I tell him that let me manage it. I take care of the reservations, operations, everything I do. Outside my room. So we created a company by the name myhomeinkashmir.com. It's a brand itself.
Idea that is
Huh? Maybe I kind of registered this. I have a particular at the moment. I with my team, we have managed somewhere at 7 properties out in Kashmir in past 10-15 years. जब से हमने start किया. And all that what we have seen is we started a company in the agricultural domain. Then मेरे कहने का मकसद ये है कि the moment you identify a particular problem and start looking for a solution, start looking for the brand as well. What do I name this particular brand? How do I create it and make it big? I tell you another brand that we created just a couple of years back. So we just thinking, it was just a thought process that if somebody has to invest, somebody is working, somebody is doing business, अगर 3-4 लाख रुपया किसी के पास fund है and he has to invest, what is the place he can invest in? कहाँ पे invest कर सकता है? What is the place? Can you guess? 4 लाख रुपए, 5 लाख रुपए, 8 लाख रुपए, 10 लाख रुपए, कहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करें?
डिपेंड करता है रिस्क पे कितना लेना चाहता है, रिटर्न क्या चाहता है.
तो जनरल फ्रॉम अ कश्मीरी पर्सपेक्टिव मैं आपको कश्मीरी अगर हम 20 साल पहले चले जाएं, a couple of decades back, anybody would kind of want कि मैं उसको जाए कहीं पे जमीन आधा कनाल 4 मरले 5 मरले, तो आज की डेट में अगर यही 4-5 मरले कहीं खरीदने हो, what should be the money in your pocket? बहुत पैसा चाहिए. तो literally speaking, it is out of bounds for from a common person. ये एक बंदे की हैसियत नहीं रही. आप वो आप एक कनाल आधा कनाल कहीं इन कश्मीर पर्टिकुलर विसिनिटी या टाउन्स में ले लें, अगर लेगा भी कोई 5-6 लाख रुपए का कहीं दूर मिलेगा कोई एक somewhere for investment purpose. So if he is not investing in land, what is the alternative? Why would he invest? Gold. Very important, gold. But what are the returns? Very less. Return जो है gold बहुत कम है. Number second, you have to keep a watch. ना बंदा दफ्तर में होगा, जहन घर की अलमारी पे होगा, पता नहीं कोई आएगा, you don't open up and. So this was a problem. That this was kind of coming in our mind, and this is a problem. Now what is the alternative? Then stock markets, as he said, depending on the risk person can take, he can put his money in stock markets. But you see, we are 15, 20 people sitting here. How many of you will raise hands the moment I talk about shares? There's one gentleman only out of 20. So people here in a kind of random effort, what we see, people are very averse to stock markets. Now issues are asking okay, so this is the general perception of Kashmiris towards stock market. हालांकि आज की डेट में I can say that if you have any good investment to make, you can put it in share markets. Yes, there are things that are debatable in share markets from the religious perspective. Yes, we can address them, but that can be a different session. So people are averse. So आप कहाँ लगाए पैसा? Startup is kind of something that is very new to Kashmiris. Now another thing that people used to keep money, मतलब how banks से मजे अपनी money FD. Keep it as a fixed deposit. Fixed deposit में जो return आते हैं, the moment you kind of are they commensurate to the inflation. इस हिसाब से यहाँ से महंगाई बढ़ रही है, या उस हिसाब से इंटरेस्ट मुझे मिल रहा है? At the end of the day, the person who is putting his money in fixed deposits in a bank is ending up in a loss. As simple as that. He is ending up in a loss. If I am putting money, 1 lakh rupees today in the bank and keeping it for 5 years, 6 years and getting returns, अब 6 साल के बाद 1 लाख रुपए का जो मुझे आज मिलता, वो उस रिटर्न में नहीं है. So what is the alternative? This is what was problem number 1 that we identified. This is the problem. Problem number 2 that we identified was agriculture related. So there are farmers. ये हमारे farmer भाई बैठे. आज की डेट में भी हमारा जो farmer है, particularly people who come from village, farmers are doing subsistence agriculture that we say in technical. ये पान स्टोर करना agriculture. He has not commercialized it. इसने commercialize नहीं किया. Why? What is the reason? There must be some reason he has not been able to commercialize this agriculture. What is that? That is low land holding. जिसके पास जमीन उतनी नहीं होती है, ये commercialize करे उतना बड़े scale पे करे. जब land holding कम हो जाए, what will happen? Production cost will increase. He will not be able to mechanize, use research to in his field. So what will happen? The production cost will increase. Product cost increase हो गया, इसके पास market नहीं होगा. ये कौन खरीदे? जब ये प्रोडक्ट मुझे जो 10 रुपए में मिल रहा है, फार्मर के पास ये बन गया 20 रुपए का, तो इसको कौन खरीदेगा? This is a problem, no? So they are not able to mechanize the farms because of low land holding. तो hardly कोई होगा कश्मीर में, very limited people जिसके पास 500, 600, 700, 800 कनाल, and he is doing it on a commercial scale. And what is happening in the process? If there is somebody, I'll end up for the sake of discussion. If somebody is there who has 500, 600, 800 canals of land, if at all he has developed it, what will be happening? ये इसकी फैमिली को बड़ा कर रहा है. It is capitalism. ये इसकी फैमिली, ये अपनी फैमिली पे सारा इम्तियाज़ में करते मार्केटिंग connected. I won't name any kind of brand out here, but yes, this is what has happened. So this is capitalistic. So what we did is we thought of this particular idea. Let us combine these two, agriculture and investment. Right? Combine these two and find a new solution. So what we did, we identified 500 canals of land at one place in Kashmir. 500 canals हमने एक जगह identify की, which we thought, given take kind of large chok in the center, इस radius में, इस rate में हमें कहाँ जमीन मिलेगी? We found that is the best place we can purchase the land. So हमने land purchase करना start कर दिया. But not in my name, not in somebody's name. We created a company, private limited company, जिसके नाम पे ये हमने land trade start किया. Our idea is to purchase 500 canals of land and do agriculture, mechanized, research-based and integrated agriculture. जिसमें research भी होगा, mechanization भी होगा, and it will be integrated. It will be farm, dairy farm, poultry farm, it will be sheep farm, it will be vegetables, it will be horticulture, everything at one place. We'll have honey, we might have lavender, we might have 10 other different things which are possible out there. What will happen? It is called economies of scale in technical terms. The moment you have huge chunk of land, what will happen? The production cost will come down. Is it? प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट कम होगा, प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज होगा, और मार्केट कहाँ है? हमें बाहर नहीं भेजना, मार्केट इज इन किचन। हमें कोई दूध का भी है, मीट का भी है, पोल्ट्री का भी है, विच इज करंटली कमिंग फ्रॉम outside. 70% of our this livestock or agricultural crops is coming. तो हो गया ये एग्रीकल्चर का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व। इन्वेस्टमेंट का कैसे हो गया? What we are asking investors, somebody is investing, wants to invest his money, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, up to a maximum of 18 lakh rupees, so that it doesn't become one person's company. ठीक है, ये एक बंदे की कंपनी नहीं बनेगी, it will be group of people working together, and it will kind of benefit socially to people. So what will happen? So इसमें invest करो, people are investing in the company. Very important thing, is the money safe? Yes, the money is safe. Why? Because you are invested in land. आपका पैसा कहाँ जा रहा है? 70% of it is going in land. Land prices will always appreciate. तो खुदा ना चाहता आपका एग्रीकल्चर वाला आइडिया नहीं भी चला. What will happen? Land is still there. इसका cost appreciate ही होगा. People will get their money. But what is our idea? Our idea is not कि हमारा project fail. Our idea is the moment we actually do this project, the returns from this project will be given returns to the investors. Return भी आ गया, agricultural problem भी solve हो गया, investment problem solve हो गया. So this is that we are currently working on. Company name is Credit Integrated Agro. So right from the beginning, the moment we conceived this idea, we thought of this name. What should be the name? So there was a lot of brainstorming that we came up with this name. Let's keep it credit. Credit means credibility, credence. So anybody who is kind of trying to put his money, he needs some credible partner that is credible. So people, so इस हिसाब से हमने इसका नाम choose किया. Eventually there are a lot of ideas that we intend to kind of do this. This is whole thing that we gave summarize कि why should we invest in brand. अभी हमने कोई नहीं कुछ नहीं बनाया हुआ, हमने सिर्फ 125 कनाल अभी तक ले लिया है. We are targeting 500 कनाल एक ही जगह. ठीक है, अभी कुछ नहीं किया, बट राइट फ्रॉम जीरो वी हैव बिल्ड दिस नेम. अभी वहां कोई प्रोड्यूस नहीं निकला, दिस नेम द मोमेंट टुमारो प्रोड्यूस हैपेंस, आई एम श्योर अगर आप कहीं क्रेडिट का हनी देखेंगे मार्केट में तो आप जरूर खरीदेंगे, क्योंकि आपने आप ये नाम सुन लिया. नाउ विल स्टार्ट आस्किंग द मोमेंट यू काइंड ऑफ फील यस दे हैव डन व्हाट एक्चुअली दे कमिटेड टू अस, you start rebuying it, you will become a loyal customer. So that is why it is very important to invest in brand right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, कैसे invest करें? There are multiple ways. I'm sure in the last sessions you might have kind of understood digital marketing, social media. Social media से आज की डेट में social media is kind of completely everywhere. You see social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channels. You have kind of your websites. All these combined, the moment you play content, it becomes a brand. अगर मुझे say this is a real juice, if I'm making it in our own company, what I'll start doing is I'll start as I said, I'll start counting कि मुझे इस particular juice में मेरा audience कौन सा है, मैं किसको target कर रहा हूँ, उनके लिए एक थोड़ा थोड़ा content बना के produce करके placing them on social media, placing them on my website, sending it across on WhatsApps. आज के डेट में it's very easy to reach to a particular audience. अगर search करना हो Google search, I'm sure these technical guys might be knowing there's something called SEO, search engine optimization. What does that mean? That you have to use those keywords. The moment somebody searches, yours should be on the top. So as I gave you an example, if I have to search honey for diabetic, so quickly आपका नाम अगर कोई ऐसा बनाता होगा honey for diabetic patient, his name will creep up in Google results. So this is how actually you have to use your kind of depending on what kind of services or products you are planning to make or deliver. So इस हिसाब से आपको बनाना होगा और eventually that will help you in building your brands. And this all we summarized. We move on. Thanks very much. A lot of thanks for the patient listening now. That is the most important question. That there are question and answers. If anybody has any question, anybody has any clarification, anybody wants to discuss anything, most welcome. Please. Yes, please. Anybody?
एक क्वेश्चन है कि मतलब कश्मीर में लोकल में काम कर रही है छोटे से लेके बड़े से अगर स्मॉल बिजनेस की बात की जाए तो उनका स्केल अप में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता कि वो माइंड में कुछ ऐसा सोचे जिनसे उसका स्केल हो सके। मतलब ये ब्रांड की जगह एक पैशन ही रह के बन जाता है और हम छोटी सी सेल में भी खुश हो जाते हैं। तो हम उस माइंडसेट को कैसे तैयार करें कि हम पहले से ही अपना एक वो लेवल उतना करें कि हम बड़ा ब्रांड बन सकते हैं, वो लेवल कैसे बन सकते हैं?
Anybody else? Anybody wants to add to?
Yes.
Yes.
One more.
Yes.
Say, for example, discuss startup. How do you allocate the budget?
Okay. Let's allocate the budget in terms of band. It is a kind of question that it kind of varies from person to person. What kind of business you are actually trying to build? What is it? Service? Is it manufacturing? What kind of size you want to build on? So, depending on that, you can allocate the budget from that particular person. But your question is very important. That generally, the moment we start the small, then we don't kind of eventually scale it up. This is the most important thing that brands will help you. Because market will force you to scale it up. You will not scale it up. आपके ध्यान में नहीं है. The moment you have built a product, you have built a service, that is hit. या तो चीज पर इसमें चाहिए viral हो गया. In terms of video, it is viral. अब ये मजबूर है बंदा एक शेयर करने के लिए. You have liked this particular story, you are sharing it. So what has made you to share? If there is an external force that has made you to share. Exactly same. The moment business is there, the moment you have made a product, and you are kind of you're generating customers. आज 10 हैं, कल 20 हैं, परसों 30 आ गए. So your mind will automatically open. Right? Your mind will automatically open. Now you are not the person who is deciding on it. Now market is making you to build it up, scale it up. Now what you have to just think of कि हाँ मैं scale करूँगा. आज की डेट में मेरे पास machine है that was making 10 bottles. मुझे 20 bottles की machine खरीदनी है. So it automatically scales it up. So first, foremost, basic, set your basic frame. What is the basic? Basic is make your product and understand your niche. And we completely मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि don't make a product for the world. अभी मत बनो. ये product बन जाएगा eventually. But understand your niche. मैं किसको target कर रहा हूँ? Identify. जैसे मैंने patients की example दी. कोई diabetic, कोई osteoporosis patient. If you are making a food product, because it's all food around. That's why I gave this particular example. By making this, and this particular product is addressing this particular market. So then it will be easier for you to identify your customers. It will be easier for you to brand your product, and it is easier for you to reach out the customers. जब वो छोटा customer होगा, the moment you are making a particular product, मतलब हम सोचेंगे डायबिटीज कितने होंगे? ज़्यादा 30-40,000 लोग यहाँ कश्मीर में डायबिटीज होंगे. But the moment your product is a hit in those 30,000 people, you can reach the 30 lakh people who are in the rest of the parts of the country. Okay? But you make that product, first understand your market, मेरा कौन सा niche है, then external forces will push you to get to the next scale. Okay? That is, I'm sure that your question is answered. Anybody else? Oh, yes. You want to say something? Good. Yeah, guys from Tamil Nadu, you want to say something? So are we clear about this? Investing in branding is a very important thing for a small business or a startup. It is very important, very critical. आहिस्ता आहिस्ता कभी ये होता है, there are ups and downs, ऊपर नीचे brands के होते रहते हैं, that is for sure. But yes, eventually the moment ये ज़हन में घुस गया, this particular brand is created, it will चला हो गया. So thank you very much once again.
We appreciate
a round of applause and a moment of love.
Thank you so
to
much.
our leaders. Thank you for sharing your views. Actually,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
It was a pleasure meeting you.